Hey, what is going on, guys? It's the Heart Pirates TCG. I'm bringing you a deck list that I got second place with at my locals on Friday. I actually played with this again today. I didn't do as well, but I just drew very unlucky in the last game, so I think I would have finished second or third again. But this is Katakuri. Let me just go straight into it. This deck I think is definitely a top 2 or 3 deck in the meta. Let me start out with the 2K counters and I'll explain why. So we're playing 4 of the Struzen. Struzen 2K counter, you almost never play it. People do consider playing it into law. I don't really. I don't know if I would actually do that or not. And then we had 4 Pudding. I also have never played this card. I don't think I ever would. 2K counters are important, especially in the new gate matchup. Then we have 4 Sanjis. Now I actually would play this card. 4 Sanji is actually good because it helps you kind of filter out cards that are not useful in your life. For example, big moms, you know, like if you Katakuri attack and look at the top card of your life and see that it's a big mom, you know, you don't want that in your life. So Sanji can kind of filter those out and add them to your hand in a way that your opponent doesn't know exactly what you're drawing, which is very helpful. So 12 2K counters. And then we are playing 4 of the Puddings. Pudding is the searcher of the deck. not too much to talk about. Then we are, for the blockers, we're playing 4 Bruley. I think this card is absolutely insane. I would never not play 4 of these, and it's a 1K counter if it is in your hand. Even if you draw it, like you can either discard it off of an effect of a trigger, or you can just hard play it later on. Like I do that all the time. I'm playing 2 Gillettes. This possibly could change. I like 2. There's a couple changes I would make to this deck with probably a couple more weeks of testing that I'll see. But honestly, like Gillette was good. It wasn't great, but it was good. So I like it right now. It could change in future iterations of the deck though. Then I'm playing 2 Tropical Torment. I've been playing around with the ratios of this a lot actually. And I was playing 4. It was completely dead almost all the time, so I cut it down to 2, and I love it at 2. I think it's fantastic. I wouldn't play any more or any less. I think 2 is just great. Same with Soul Pocus here. I'm playing 2 Soul Pocus. I love this card at 2. It feels like I have it when I need it, and I very rarely have it when I don't want it. Unfortunately, one of those was in my final match today. That ended up losing to Ace with, but it was a super close game. If I would have had, you know, a hand that wasn't full of just dead cards, I would have went 3-1, 4-1, you know, in 2 different tournaments. So I like this a lot. I think this card is fantastic, and especially, I mean, the trigger is literally just Lin, except for, you know, an event, and it's free. And then I'm also playing Sovereignty. I think Sovereignty, I was playing 0 and then I was playing 1. I bumped it up to 2 because the trigger will, like, there's a lot of games where, like, you are so close to dying that if you had 1 more life, then you can, you know, crack back next turn and kill them. I think this card is very important because a lot of times, like, you'll have like dead cards in hand that you can just discard and add a life. So if you got, for those of you guys who don't know, the trigger is trash 2 cards from your hand, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck on top of your to your life card essentially. So it allows you to take 1 more hit, and that hit could also be another trigger, like it could be like a Bruley or something like that. Or honestly, it could be like a cracker to crack back the next turn. So Sovereignty is fantastic. I wouldn't change the Sovereignty count. Thunderbolt, I've been back and forth with this card. I cannot stand having it in my opening hand, and it's great off life. But honestly, I don't know if I'm going to keep this in there. This could be one of the things that changes. Another thing that changes, and I'll tell you exactly what I would do, is I'm playing 3 Parasparrow. I want to play 4, but I just, for some reason, literally no one has an extra Parasparrow in the 2 locals that I went to. So I'm playing 3. I would take out the other Pudding that I'm playing right now. Or not the Pudding, the other Smoothie for their 4th Parasparrow, because I am playing 4 Smoothie. Of course, like I said 5 seconds ago, this will be a one of these will be a Parasparrow as soon as I get my hands on one. But Pudding's really good. Honestly, if you're playing against the Nami decks, or even honestly Whitebeard in a pinch, like, its effect when attacking, like adding a life card to your hand and like gaining 2,000, I think it's huge. I think it's very, very, very important. And a lot of times just having a body on the field is like very threatening. Like, especially like you take your first life and just play this. Like, I think that is like really, really, really strong. So Smoothie at 3, wouldn't change anything else. I don't think I'd change anything else about this deck, because I am playing 3 Cracker. You definitely want to play a lot of triggers, because like the important part of this deck is not that you have triggers, it's the weight of the triggers, right? Or I'm sorry, I said that wrong. The important part about this deck is not adding life or trashing life. It's the fact that when you add life to your opponent, or when your opponent gives you life, that life could also turn into another threat. So it's not like it's like you have to do another attack, and that attack could also lead to another threat or just give you more life. So it's like them wasting a turn. So like Cracker, there's been a lot of games where like I've played I've triggered into Cracker when I have I took 1 additional life that turn, because I either knew Cracker was coming up, or I lucked into it and I had less life than him, and now he's a double strike attack, or he's a double strike threat, and sometimes you resolve it, sometimes you don't, but you make them waste a bunch of cards in their hand, or they're going to take 2 life, which is great. So 3 Cracker. I'm playing 2 Katakuri. I was playing 3. I cut it down to 2. This card, I haven't played against any Zoros, which is weird. I haven't played any Zoros at my locals, but this card is fantastic against pretty much any like aggressive deck. For example, like Law or Zoro if you play it, or Luffy sometimes plays a little like the 1 cost. So also the CP9 Lucci deck. I think 2 is really good because it lets you look at your life or look at their life, and then you have rush too. So very important. It's a 4/6 either way. I think it's a very good card. I don't think you should play any less than 2. Now I am playing 3 Charlotte Linlins. It could seem like a lot, right? Because I am playing 3 Linlins, and I'm playing 2 Soul Pocus, and I'm playing 2 of the Tropical Torment. The ratios of that could possibly change. I might cut one of them, because one of the games that I lost, and a couple of the other games have been very close, because this is just like constantly in my hand, which isn't a bad thing to like. It's not a bad problem, because like I love seeing this, especially on curve. The problem is when you see when you search for one and then you get one off life, or like you draw into another one, so like you have all of them on top of your 10-drop big moms. That's the reason I'm considering playing 2 of this, because it's great, or maybe even, probably playing 2 of this and keeping the Soul Pocus because I like the trigger on it. But I think, as it is right now, it's good, especially into the yellow mirror, because like the only way for them to deal with it is like to attack into it, or like place it on the top of your deck with Katakuri, and then you just have another life essentially. So it's not horrible at 3. I think I might cut it down to 2. I'm not entirely sure. It's fine where it is right now. And then I'm playing 2 Katakuri. Considered playing 3, but 3 would just clog way too much. You don't want that many big cards. And this card is really good at just keeping it's really good at keeping like yellow honest. And then it's also good at just like, it's very good momentum plays. Like, yes, you're giving them a life, but at the same time, like for example, I could have used this when I was playing. I misplayed, I didn't do it, but I could have used this on this guy that I played against. Just played a Blue No, and I was on 8 curve, and I could have just played this, put the Blue No on top of his life, and then he would have to either play something else the next turn, and then like basically waste a turn playing another card to gain advantage, and then I'd already have an 8k on the board. Like it's just like I'm okay giving you a life, because I'm probably going to trash it with Big Mom anyway. So the momentum plays that this guy makes, there's an argument in some variants you might want to play 3 of them and less of the 7 cost Big Mom because of the momentum. However, like against like weenie decks like Law and Zoro, and honestly even Whitebeard, like Newgate, you don't ever I almost never play this on against Newgate. It's just discard fodder. So 2's fine for me. And then of course we're playing the 4 Big Moms. I think Big Mom is just an absolutely insane, nutty card. On play, your opponent trashes a life, you gain a life. It's a 2 card swing, or a 2 life swing with a 12k body on the field. Like they're just like, I was playing against one of my friends, Sean, on Friday when I came in second on the tournament, and he was playing Ace, and I dropped back-to-back Linlins, and he was like, I just don't see how anyone could like beat them when they're chained, like back to back to back. And sometimes you can actually do that, which is crazy. Is like, the thing is like, even if you deal with this Linlin, like for example, he could have done the Flame Emperor combo where you do you minus 4,000 with I can't think of the card, Whiteout maybe, or White Hot, I'm not sure, but you minus 4,000 to the card and then you Flame Emperor it, and like you deal with it, but there's like the damage is already done. I have a life and you have one less life. So even if you deal with it, I either probably already have a Katakuri on the field or like another smaller big mom, and then or like, you know, cracker, or, you know, whatever it is. Like, it just feels like the damage of this card is already done, and now you're dealing with it and wasting your entire turn to deal with this card, and I have other cards on the field. So it's just so good. Anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think. If you guys have a list that I don't know, I'm very happy to be back. I was not playing at the end of set 2 because I just think red was just completely unfair and annoying, and I didn't like playing against Newgate, Luffy, Zoro every single game. But now I'm back, and I think the game is in a much healthier state, so you'll continue to see videos. I actually have a lot of great, like, quality videos coming out. I improved the quality of some of my video templates, so I'm actually very excited about that. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.